Okay, yay, we're live. Yay.
Ooh.
I wonder when if the instructor reviews our Hangouts. We always seem to start so enthusiastically. It's like, oh, great, these guys again.
Uh, I kind of doubt it. It doesn't seem like he takes a lot of time when he does grading.
Yeah.
Well, on some things, like those the the essay that we had to do last week.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I got my grade back and I'm listening to the audio feedback and I'm going, I wrote this at 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm pretty sure that I made all those numbers up because I'm looking at them now going, where did that come from? And he's talking and he's like, yeah, I like the way you did this. And I'm like, and yet the case analyses that I write, I can't seem to get 100 on those. It's always like 85, 90, 85, 80. And I'm like, but this I wrote so tired with like an hour of sleep in the last 36 hours. And that one you like? Is that what I should do all the time?
Absolutely.
That sounds healthy.
All
Well, I
right.
hope he doesn't hear that part.
Oh, well.
Too late.
Okay, so, let's see, we'll just go, this is really, really short, it looks like. Okay, so vote individually. Should David Vero raise money now, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to say no.
No! What is this? Alright, what's...
I finally agree with Kenton, and you have to disagree with me?
Yeah.
Okay, why do you say no?
Because he doesn't have a lot in, if I read the case correctly, and I may not have actually, his, where was it? There was something that I saw that was like, probably shouldn't rent money now. I think he's so when I say right now, like it's probably just a matter of semantics. I think he probably needs to help with. They probably need to focus more on the competitor right now, whereas generally funds raised at this stage of startups go more towards R&D than selling your competitors, or than competing rather. So
See, that's why I say he should raise the money now,
mhm.
because the money he already has raised has already been earmarked for R&D and regular marketing and sales stuff, and the extra money that he gets, he could put towards crushing people. People crushing money is always good, at least to me.
Yeah, not gonna lie, Kent. Why did you vote yes?
I feel like it opened up more opportunities for them. I guess the same concept that way. If they have the money, they can use it. And who knows, with a big enough operation, you can make some necessary acquisitions. I don't know. I guess I'm thinking about
Maybe
growth
he could
right
just
now.
acquire his competition and be like, ha ha
Yeah,
ha.
no kidding.
Oh
Just buy
dear,
them
oh
out.
dear, oh dear. No, 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 no. No, jeez. Whenever I hear stuff like that, I twitch.
Bad experiences.
Yeah. The last company I worked for, and I think I mentioned this before, last company I worked for did an IPO to raise money, and as soon
Oh,
as
right.
they bought their biggest competitor and then got sued by the Department of Justice and lost
What?
for predatory business practices. Yeah.
Well,
I didn't know that was considered predatory. I thought that was a
Yeah.
normal practice.
Well, it was collusion basically because they did it to control the market, and they had a lot of emails going back and forth. It was just really
just
lame.
don't put anything in emails.
I
Dang.
know, right? Yeah.
Never put anything in writing. That crap is binding.
Mm-hmm. So I think I think probably one of the reasons I agree with what he should do with the money, but I think right now it's going to be it's a months-long financing process at best.
Well, they said that he has enough to run on for another
8 months.
several months.
Uh-huh.
But by the time he gets all of his many ducks in a row for a Series A investment,
Mm-hmm.
they might be down to 2 or 3 months of operational income. And at that point, he might be like, I need this money now. I would recommend getting money while you don't necessarily need it, but it would be nice, as opposed to I'm desperate and I will take whatever I can get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I can be persuaded.
Yeah, well, because otherwise you're going to go to an investor and you're going to look desperate, and they're going to be like, you're going to take whatever I give you, and you're going to take whatever terms I give you because you're so desperate for money.
Mm.
And then you might end up with terms like, crap, I signed away half my company because I needed an influx of cash, and I couldn't wait, and I had no other offers.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, so we're directed to read this quote from the case on page 7. I tried to raise funds from Sand Hill Road venture capitalists in October and November. They liked our team and our idea, but they told me to come back when I had proved the model in more than one city, demonstrated lifetime customer value well in excess of average customer acquisition cost, and had reliable data on my sales cycle and conversion funnel. So, why do investors care about customer lifetime value, customer acquisition cost, and sales conversion data?
Because if you're spending all your money getting customers and then they leave you, what's the point? If they're not going to stay with you.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could signal that you have a problem. Like they come in, they try your stuff, and then they say, no, I don't like you, and then they never come back, and then they spread bad word of mouth. And then not only do you have a crappy customer retention number, but then you have poor marketing out there working against you.
Right. Yeah, I think the customer lifetime value minus customer acquisition cost is just basically how much you expect to get from a customer, period, over the time they're with you. And sales conversion data is how many customers do you plan on acquiring. So it just basically boils down to how well can you forecast how much money you're planning on making with your company. And if you don't know any of those three values, you can't have an accurate forecast.
Yeah, that word right there is why why my team on B483, that Capsum thing, why we stank so bad in the practice round. Oh, our forecasting sucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, forecasting in Capsum's hard. Okay. Kent, did you have any answers to, did you have anything you felt like you needed to contribute about?
I felt you guys both covered it well.
Okay.
With customers, if you talk to half your customers and half of them go tell a friend, and then those half of them, it kind of shows how exponential it can grow and how profitable your company can be. It's a real key number to know, for good or for bad. And it's also good to know where you should spend your time. Because if activity A versus activity B produces more people for cheaper and it creates longer lasting people, anyways, it just shows you where you should spend your time so that you can be most effective also.
And where you should put your money.
Exactly.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, so with that said, what is the CLV of a rent-choose customer? Annual churn is 38%. Monthly revenue per customer is $440. We call that ARPU, where I work right now, average revenue per customer. ARPU always sounds like a dog's name. Gross margin is 75%, and the CAC given in the case is $2,300.
That's a pretty high gross margin.
It is. Well, it's a SaaS company, so really the margin is in how you scale it, and generally SaaS companies, you can, if you depending on what you're doing with it, you can scale with technology rather than people, and that drives your margins up. Okay, so I'm going to complain as to why Excel opened in a completely different window than where I wanted it to.
Hey, mine crashed and took my spreadsheet with it.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's just a cherry on top of a really craptastic day.
Okay. So customer lifetime values, rent to customers. So let's see, annual churn is 38%. All right, so how does that work? So if they're losing if they're losing 38% of their customers a year, then we can say that an average customer is going to be with the company for a little over 19 months. And I got that by multiplying 12 times 1.62, or 12 times 162%.
Where did 162 come from?
Basically, taking the annual churn of 38% and taking the inverse of that, and then adding 1.
Okay.
Okay, so then, so that would be,
Wait, I thought your churn rate is you lost 38%
right.
of your customers, so you calculated how much you kept, and I don't understand why you would put a 1 in front of it, because are you considering doubling all your customers that you have? So you have 10 customers, you lose 38% of them, but you keep 7 point something, and then you also gain 10 more, so you're at like 17. Was that what you did there? I don't know why you. Can you explain why you did that?
Sure. So you lose 38% of your customers every year. But so
Are we looking for a yearly CLV or a monthly? Because if we're looking at monthly, then we need to divide 38 by 12.
It's annual.
Okay.
yeah.
Just checking.
Well, it's not necessarily annual. It's the customer lifetime value. So in order to figure out the customer lifetime value, we need to figure out how long the average customer is with Rent Juice. So the way I did that is if 38% of the customers leave every year, that means 62% of the customers stay.
Correct. I get that. I follow that. It
Okay.
makes sense.
All right. So if you just take 62%, I mean, so what do you do with that 62%?
Well, I'm confused why you were saying that you would have one growth each year, and I felt like growth would be changing or decreasing. And I felt like you were keeping it consistent. Your growth was, well, the customers you have now is going to grow by the same amount. I don't know if you can, at some point you can have exponential growth.
Okay.
Is what I'm seeing with that.
All right.
Because you're just taking what you have times 2, what you have times 2, what you have times 2.
Yeah, I think I kind of see what you're saying.
Anyways, but explain your thought. I would like to hear where you're going with this. Sorry, before I get down to that.
No, that's fine. I think I may have talked myself into a corner here, so I'm going to use my friend Mr. Google. Right. Okay. And I feel kind of ashamed because this is explained to us every month. Every month at our company we go through the financials of the company to calculate churn. So basically, annual churn. Okay. So you take the annual churn, which is 38%, and and then you don't do what I just did, which completely scrolled my Excel over to a place I didn't want it to be. Okay, so you take the annual churn and you divide it by 12 to get the monthly churn. Okay, I'm getting confident here. So our monthly churn is going to be somewhere along the lines of 3%. So that is the amount of monthly revenue lost. Okay, so we're going to take the monthly revenue per customer, which is $440, and multiply that times.
So roughly $14 is lost every month
Yep,
per customer.
exactly. Exactly. I've got 420. Yeah. So $426 is our new. It's our monthly recurring revenue per customer after churn. All right. That's good. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Wait, you lost me because I've got revenue per customer is $440, and you multiply that by your 3% lost, so that's $14, and you're saying a different number than me.
Well, I subtracted the 14 from 440.
Oh, that
to
makes
get
sense.
426. Okay, so take your monthly recurring revenue at the beginning of the month and divide it by the monthly recurring revenue you lost that month, minus any upgrades or additional customers. So that's sales churn. Okay, well that's fine. And now, so what do we do with this number, this 426? We do gross margin, which is 75%. So the profit is
You can have some water first.
okay, so basically like $320 monthly gross profit. And then, all right. Okay, oh, congratulations, 18 slides.
Wait, what is the customer lifetime value formula?
That's what I'm looking up right now.
Because I have one, but I don't think it's the same as your guys's.
I have average monthly transactions times average order value times average gross margin times average customer lifespan.
Yeah, yeah. So do we know the customer lifespan?
Not that I've been able to find out. I mean, I guess.
Well, if they had a churn of 38%, you could say, I guess you could calculate that.
Because that's the number that we're missing right now. Is
I'll look it up. I'll bet it's in the case somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not finding it.
Okay, hang on. We can actually calculate. Yeah, so average lifetime in years is 1 over the churn rate.
Hey, I just found that.
Yep. Okay, so average lifetime in years is 1 divided by
0.3.
So 2.63 is what I have.
Okay.
That's a 2.63%.
No, just 2.63 because that's average lifetime in years.
Oh, okay. So it's 2.63 years is how long the customer stays with us. Makes sense now.
Yep. Okay, now CLV is going to be number of years times annual profit. Okay, so this is going to be 263 times, and we know our monthly gross profit, so we've got to multiply that by 12 again. And then, whoops, oh, stop it. Stop, I know my formula contains an error. Uh-oh.
You forget a
Sure.
parenthesis?
No, it's because Office for on the Mac stinks.
PC.
Okay.
Way.
Well, my PC doesn't have a webcam or microphone,
Mm.
so. All right, so I've got the customer lifetime value at just under $7,800.
Can you help me calculate the monthly revenue? Because I fail to see how I should know that.
Okay, so I took the $440 and subtracted the $14 a monthly churn. Okay, to come up with $426. I then multiplied that number by the 75% for gross margin,
I can follow you so far.
and that came up with $320. Okay. Now that's our monthly gross profit. We need to know annual. So
Per customer, though. Oh, because this is per customer. Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
And since we know the average lifetime in years, we have to multiply that 320 times 12.
Okay, that makes sense. I was like,
Yep.
I don't know how many customers they have, and I don't know
Yep.
how you calculated that.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it now.
Okay, so average lifetime in years was 2.63. Multiplied that times 320 times 12. Multiplied that all together and then subtracted the given customer acquisition cost of $2,300. Come up with 7791.05.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense.
Yahoo!
Okay. I like it.
All right, and we'll keep that open because we'll be asked to report this decision in the post-discussion poll.
Right. Wait,
All right.
what is the number?
7791.05.
Oh yeah, there was a question last week on the post discussion. No, the other one that I had no idea as a group. I looked at it and went, oh dear, I don't remember this, and I guessed and I hoped that I got the same as you guys.
For our post discussion for last case, I just put down. I said we put our heads together and couldn't figure anything out.
Oh really?
Not very clear for us, yeah. So
Well, that's funny.
I'll take the 0 for this question because I have no idea.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Sorry, you got a 0. Hopefully we both get it right though.
I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
then do we need to go over 4 more, or are we happy with number 4?
I'm happy with number 4.
Me
Okay,
too.
so how well is the sales funnel at Rent Juice working? What do you think to improve it? What can you do to improve it, and how can you reduce the CAC?
I feel like there could be improvement considering how many customers they're losing every year. 30%, 38% is pretty high. I feel like.
I don't know. What is an average CAC? Or churn rate?
That's a good question.
That probably depends on the industry, but
Yeah.
for this one, where they're a subscription one, I mean, like for a one-time transaction, yeah, because those kind of industries probably have a pretty high churn rate because it's something you don't have to continually buy. But a subscription one should have a fairly low churn rate, ideally, because that means they're staying with you month after month and year after year because you still need their service. But if they're losing almost 40% of their customers every year, it means 40% of the people they bring in are not even are either leaving after 1 year like a trial period,
Yep.
or they're not even making it from month to month.
Yep. So an acceptable churn rate for a SaaS company is between 5 to 7%.
Yeah, so this is really high.
So that's really high. So I think the sales funnel, so are they bringing in unqualified customers? Is there poor service after they close the deal? You know, there are a couple variables we can look at, and I think probably their best way they can do it is qualifying the customers better. I think.
How do they already qualify them? I mean, they have their 100 qualified customers that they're calling, but how do they? I guess did it break? I don't remember breaking down qualifications and how they pick the customer. Maybe.
So, well, the way I looked at was, you know, their salesperson profile is, you know, they're looking for young people with some inside sales experience who are obsessed about cash. So that pretty much describes everybody in the sales industry, as far as I can tell. And then, so they're getting their leads. Let's see here. So of 100 qualified leads, they're only getting through
2%.
they're only getting 2% conversion. But I mean, look at that. Out of 100 qualified leads, they're only getting through to 45% of those. So it looks like, you know, maybe they need more business development people who are good at getting past gatekeepers, you know, to get, you know, to raise that 45% of people who can make decisions and raise that conversion rate.
I don't know if they need people who are more experienced in that, in like the actual industry. I think they need sales people.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, you can train salespeople to sell anything, but sales skills are more valuable than industry skills. So they need more people, and it looks like they're passing leads off to, you know, like they're having junior people handle the leads, and then, you know, once they get to the senior salespeople, the sales directors and so on, who can have experience in closing tough deals, you know, they've only got a 2% conversion rate. So
they need to have the same person from start to finish.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Generally SaaS has at least a handoff somewhere between qualifying and closing. So generally you want to improve the process one or the other. You know, so maybe they need to train I don't know. It looks like the biggest drop off from a numbers perspective is getting through the gatekeepers, but they're still losing an equivalent percentage, 50% of people from taking a call to actually getting to a decision maker, and then less than half are only viewing to agree a web demo, and then around 25% are actually subscribing. So, if you look at the exhibit cost per stage right here, let's see here, exhibit 8. I just don't want this to be sideways. Oh, good, it's not. Yeah. I'm not sure I can make head or tail of these numbers here from Exhibit 8 and relate them to actual stages of the sales cycle.
Which exhibit? 8?
8, yeah. Time and effort required for each conversion funnel stage. Because there's no legend. I can see, okay, different colors. What do the colors mean? Prospects. Okay.
Small.
Okay.
Wow, go Sally. Just closed 41.
Yeah.
She's good at what she does.
Yeah. Promote Sally. Have Sally train people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
Agent Sally seems to be the best, or the most active on this board. Did you get her the blue ones?
Well, granted, but Sally is producing fees. Is that how much we're paying Sally for her 41 closing? Is that, I'm understanding that right?
I think it's the commission. Gee, I could be wrong on that. Are we looking at the same exhibit?
I thought I was looking at Exhibit A, and I've got agent leaderboards, agency leaderboard.
That's page 2 of Exhibit 7.
Crap. I was like, this isn't making sense.
If you go down one more to Exhibit 8 on page 20.
Okay, this makes more sense.
Yeah.
Do the numbers actually, can you actually read the numbers? Because
They're really blurry.
Oh, good. I thought it was my screen.
It's just my eyes. No big deal. Okay.
Well, I knew it wasn't my eyes because I have good eyes. I thought it was my screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for paid subscribers, it looks like it looks like a fairly even breakdown of time in whatever these sales cycles mean. But again, there's no color to stage legend, unless that goes to decision makers agreeing to speak with us. So pestering decision makers to to hear our pitch.
Well, the way that I'm interpreting it, looking at it in the rejection breakdown one,
Mm-hmm.
the legend is not listed as a legend. You go by the color of the column headings. So like the prospects one looks like it accounts for 32.3% of all rejections.
Mm-hmm.
And then like free subscribers are 19%. Paid subscribers don't look like they have any representation. But that I could be wrong on how we were interpreting the legend. Lex, what are you doing? Are you going to answer me, or are you going to stand there and stare at me?
I'm gonna cut.
What are you cutting?
Yeah.
So, this is the sales cycle. So this is how long it takes us, roughly 22.5 days to make a decision on if somebody's going to pay us money or be free or reject us.
Right.
So days out. So we can kind of see how. What I'm confused with is paid subscribers. I guess we have their data, but what does it tell us other than we should know by 4.2 days mostly if they're going to reject us?
Mm-hmm.
So is that 4 days of calling them, or is that one cold call? Is that every day we call them as many times as we can get them on? We can get their number in the phone.
Right. Yeah. It's a.
So short of being able to have a revolutionary way of getting people that can convince people to do it more, I mean, we know that it takes 22 days roughly,
Mhm.
and the fastest way that I can see us getting more people to come in would be to put 2 people on there, 3 people, like double the amount of people you have in sales, and that should double, in theory, your amount of sales that you get that are paid and
Right.
free and rejected. Is there a better way to go about doing that with the information that we have?
I don't think so. That sounds pretty good.
Okay. So the question back to the case, or to the thing is, how well is the sales funnel working? We determined that the sales funnel has all these people going down. It's only like 2% of people that we talk to actually buy the product.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And we decided that that's bad because most companies are like 5 to 8%, like we had seen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're on agreement that it's not working very well. So what can we do to improve it? We could double our sales, but that being said, the sales funnel will still be the same in the process. If we double the amount of people, it should still take, out of every 100 we call, there's only going to be 2. So we could train our people, that would improve it, maybe become better salesmen. Granted, this is also cold calls, so it's possible to maybe somehow build a rapport with these people. We're calling all across the nation. Maybe we could focus on inside of the city that they're in and maybe take people out to lunch or something, and they might have a greater opportunity, or that would be an opportunity to help increase that sales. Do they do the free subscription? I know you guys had mentioned it. Say, hey, use us free for the next 30 days. That's a huge thing done now with almost all
Mm-hmm.
things.
Yeah, I think they do.
Okay, that would be a cool sales pitch because they have their free. Yeah. Okay. So, any other thoughts on how we could improve that?
They change their training.
How so?
I would go through the leaderboard and have the top people give a seminar on how to close the deal, so to speak.
Now, is the leaderboard people using their product, or is the leaderboard are people selling?
I think
I wasn't sure.
people using.
So basically, testimonials from our current clients is where you're going with that.
Well.
Or what do you mean?
I think it's that leaderboard thing. I think that is people. That's the example of an agency using the program. This is what the program looks like to prospective people, like prospective agencies that would be using it, saying like, look, see, this is how your screen would look at the end of the day or whatever, and you could tell what agent is doing better and who is really struggling and all of that good stuff. What I'm saying is, on our end, find the people who are selling the most subscriptions and have them give, not a seminar, but like a tutorial kind of a thing to the rest of them, saying, if you want to get past the gatekeepers and get to the decision makers, here are some tips and tricks and helpful hints to get to the people who actually can say yes or no. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Wait, I'm confused.
So I'm talking about people on our end, not the people using the product. Our salespeople are the people we hire to sell our subscription service.
I thought the exhibit second page that we're looking at was of the customer, and we could see different customers and see how they were doing.
No, I don't think we see how they're doing, how they're using it, because I feel like.
Okay, so this would be our customers. So like Agent Sally is our top salesperson. That's
No,
what we're
I think
seeing?
that exhibit is showing how it would look to one of our customers, how their screen would look after they log in to their subscription, and they can see that screen and see the person that I have hired, my person, Agent Sally, is doing a fantastic job. I should give her a raise. And
Okay.
so-and-so
No, that's
is
cool.
in last place. I'm saying the people that we hire as part of Rent Juice should look at the people that we are called, like our employees, who are cold calling people looking for agencies that would use our subscription service, see which ones are doing the best, who are closing the most subscriptions and signing the most contracts, have them give a tutorial to everybody else saying, these are some tricks on how to get in the door, how to get your foot in the door so you can actually talk to a decision maker. I think that would help us raise the number of subscribers and lower the number of rejections, because like Matthew, I think it was Matthew said, it's getting in the door that's the biggest problem.
Right.
Getting to people who can say yes or no.
Okay, that makes sense. So I'm going to repeat it back to you to make sure I understood. Take our top salespeople, have them train the other people in the office on how to be just as good as them. That's a great idea. I think I agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Or make it last week's case study. On the analysis thing, one of the questions was, how to improve sales or whatever, and I said that they should make it a competition. Who can close the most, and whoever gets it gets like a one-time monetary bonus, or gets an extra day of vacation time or something.
That's cool.
Because motivated account people do better work.
Okay,
and people who feel appreciated will always do more than they're expected.
So, okay, do you guys want to talk any more about how we can improve it, or should we move on to the second half of that question, third half?
Let's move on.
Yes.
Cool. So how can you reduce the CAC? And this is the customer acquisition cost.
Right. Essentially reduce the CAC by reducing the time it takes to acquire a customer, and also increasing the conversion rate.
Those seminars might help. The shorter amount of time it takes to get them to say yes, the less amount of time, less amount of money.
Interesting. I think it'd be fun to figure out why these people stopped using us, because if they all went out of business, or they all decided they didn't like this field and just wanted to change, it'd be interesting to know why. If it was because of something in our services that we weren't able to provide, what can we improve on to drop that retention rate down? It'd be really interesting to figure out that. Try to get that data from those people.
Maybe they're going to that competitor.
I don't know. But I think that would also help the conversion, the churn rate.
Yeah.
And maybe do we need to send out email reminders? Hey, don't forget to use the app. Who knows? Okay, cool. Any other thoughts on the CAC before we go to question 6?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, so number 6, how should Vivero respond to the new competition?
Crush them.
Yeah, I think really he's got to compete using longevity and features. That he already has. I don't think he's really going to compete as far as, hey, we got a better sales staff. I don't think he should compete on price, because if you get in a pricing war, generally everybody loses.
Yeah.
So really, just got to take this opportunity, educate his sales staff, and go forth and sell.
Great idea. I think the nice thing is once you talk to a bunch of people, you've already spoken to them, and you don't have to talk to them, at least for a while.
Mhm.
You know, maybe feed them all your people who didn't want to use your service to them. I don't know. Send them on wild goose chase. So are there any pros or cons? Heather, did you have any other thoughts on that?
Not really.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, besides my idea was to buy them out, and apparently that's illegal.
Well, it's only if you collude with them ahead of time, or
Right.
your purchasing them would make you the majority owner in a market and make a monopoly. So as long as you're not colluding with your competition to, you know, buy them out for a set price
Mhm.
and make it an unfair deal, or you're not gonna end up with like 80% of the market share because you buy out the other competition. I mean, if there's only 2 or 3 people in the industry, then yeah, you really can't buy them out because then you would own way too much of the market share.
Mhm.
And then the government would say, no. Unless you don't live in the U.S., then maybe that'd be fine.
Then it's okay. That's nice. So
Well,
Matt, you talked, or go ahead.
I'm just saying it depends on where you're living. In the U.S., that would be a problem. It might not be a problem in Europe. Just depends
So
on
in
where.
theory, if we set up our company in Mexico, called across the border, we could do that. It'd be okay.
Yeah, in theory.
Anyways, Matt, you brought up a point to go sell like crazy, and I think a total pro for that is we can acquire the customers and we kind of figure out which ones aren't going to be as profitable, and the competition can work on filtering through all of those people. And one of the things that if we don't have a good enough funnel to where if we're missing, if there's an extra 2, 3, or 4% that we could have gotten and we miss that, that leaves opportunity for the competition.
Mhm.
So at the same time, go out and sell like crazy, but somehow figure out how to get the conversion rate up as much as possible to be able to make sure we're getting all those people as we go, not missing people.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I don't have anything else for that. Does anybody else want to share anything for that?
I'm good.
Okay, I think that's all the questions.
I think you are right.
Oh, we did it, guys.
Yay. All right. Let's give ourselves a pat on the back.
Matt, Heather, this is your pat on your back. Good job.
Okay. Cool. All right. I'm going to send out the link. And we are golden. We'll see
Are we
everybody.
meeting Thursday?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I look forward to it, guys.
Absolutely. Same here. See y'all in a couple days.
Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.